Welcome to the Penn State Report. I'm Paul Roberts from WEEU, joined by Rich Scarcella from the Reading Eagle. And Rich, we spent a lot of time with the offensive line, so let's stay there because they played very well. Now, I guess naysayers will say, well, that was against a winless UMass team. So what did you think of the offensive line?
Well, Paul, they did play well. They played very well. They opened a lot of holes, big holes in the run game. Bill Belton, Zach Zwinek, and Akeel Lynch all had very good games. They did a good job protecting Christian Hackenberg, who didn't really throw the ball that much, and that was part of the game plan. But it was a step. That's all it was, and a lot of the players said the same thing after the game. It's not like all their problems have been solved. It was a step forward. Now let's see if they could take another step forward against a Big Ten opponent, which is could be an interesting game, if Northwestern's run defense comes to play.
Against Rutgers, it was bizarre because Zwinek and Lynch only had 3 carries combined. Against UMass, very balanced. They were almost dead even. Is that something we should expect? Is Rutgers an aberration that Zwinek barely got any carries?
Yeah, I think it was. I do. I think you're going to see, as James Franklin said earlier this week, each player, each running back will get a series in the beginning of the game, and then we'll see how it goes, how the game changes, how they look, who's more effective, are they ahead by a lot or is it a struggle, and that'll determine how the rushes are distributed. I think Akeel Lynch has been the best looking running back. He's averaging over 7 yards a carry. I still don't think there's going to be a change there. I think the plan will continue to be to use all 3, but I really like the way Akeel Lynch has looked.
UMass ran for a grand total of 3 yards against Penn State. Last week on the show, we talked a lot about Anthony Zettel. How about the guy next to him, Austin Johnson?
Well, the guy next to him, it plays the nose. He's the one technique, and he's done a great job. The fans in the stands, most of the fans aren't going to notice it. People watching on TV aren't going to notice it. He takes up a double team on almost every running play, which frees up Anthony Zettel. And not to say that Anthony Zettel needs all the help, but he's being blocked one-on-one, and he's beating those one-on-one blocks. I think Austin Johnson has played great. Heard a lot about him coming out of spring practice. Had a terrific preseason camp, according to people who see them practice. So I'm not surprised, but he's a really, really good nose.
Northwestern comes in at 1-2, the only win over Western Illinois. How tough of a challenge is this going to be for Penn State?
Paul, it's interesting. I think it's good. It's a step up in class from UMass because it's a Big Ten opponent. But Northwestern has really struggled. They've been hit by the transfer of running back Venrick Mark, who transferred mysteriously before preseason camp to West Texas A&M. They're using 2 freshmen at running back. They've been hurt by injuries. The quarterback, Trevor Siemian, has an ankle injury. He's trying to play through it, but he's lost some zip on his passes. Wide receiver Tony Jones has missed the last 2 games. They have a couple injuries at middle linebacker and at safety, which are very important positions. So I think going into this game, I think Penn State should win this game, should win by a comfortable margin, but I do think they'll be more tested than they were last week.
Northwestern's run defense has been good, about 3 yards a carry. Pass defense, not so much. They're giving up 260 through the air. Should we expect a big day for Christian Hackenberg? If
the offensive line can protect Hackenberg, I think he'll have a big day Saturday, especially considering the middle linebacker for Northwestern Mills is hurt. And Ibrahim Campbell, who's a really good safety, has been bothered by a hamstring injury, and it's unclear whether he's going to be able to play or not. So I look for Penn State to have a big passing game.
And we'll look for your preview in Saturday's Reading Eagle. Thanks for your time, Rich.
Thanks, Paul.
For Rich Scarcella, I'm Paul Roberts. This is the Penn State Report.